It's episode 50 of our draft-only franchise, and it's got me wishing that I'd maybe time things a little bit better, so our first playoff episode could have been episode 50. If I was thinking ahead, I would have done that, but instead, here with episode 50, we've got a chance to finish off our first playoff series win, trying to sweep the Cardinals here in Game 3. Now, win or lose this game, this will be the only thing we do here in this episode. Don't want the episode length to clue you into the results of this matchup. We've played some pretty insane games in Coors Field to start out these playoffs, but now we got to get the job done on the road. And if you have not seen the last episode, I would highly encourage it, particularly Game 2, which was wild. It was the best game of the series, and if you haven't seen the episode, here's a spoiler alert as to what the scores have been so far. Rockies 2-0, and now we got to go against the Cardinals' best pitcher here, the best lefty that's been drafted in this franchise series, in Macias. The Cardinals ace tries to keep their season alive in front of the hometown crowd, while the Rockies try to advance to the NLCS. He's had one game so far these playoffs, pitched 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, had a 1 whip, 5 strikeouts. Pretty good start indeed. Can we get the best of him here? This lineup is a lineup that faces off against lefties better than righties for the most part. Almost every player that is the case with. Clemente Herrera can't quite get that one over the glove of Naylor, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start this game. Herrera, of course, the hero of the last episode with the walk-off hit in extras. Murillo looking at a running fastball that was placed beautifully by Macias, and a good inning for him to start. No hits on the board for the Rockies. Now on the mound for us will be Jose Barreto, probably the best pitcher in general that has been drafted here in this franchise series. In his rookie year, we've seen some impressive rookies so far in Dorsey and Herrera. Get to see another one here in Jose Barreto. Kind of that third of our big trio of rookies that helped push us over the edge this season. Of course, we also had Gorzelski, who we saw pitch 1 out and actually get the win assigned to him in Game 2. Going against Dylan Carlson, he was a really good hitter for the Cards in this last episode. Goes down swinging to start this one. Naylor flies out to center field, so both sides down without a hit to begin this game. This ain't Coors Field. Not as likely to see quite the level of shootout that we saw last episode, though of course it's still possible. Both of these offenses are capable of heating up in a hurry no matter where we play. Veen hitting 250 so far for us in these playoffs. Pops one up to foul territory. That's 5 straight Rocky hitters retired. Salas hitting over 500. He has been on a tear to start the playoffs, but he's down swinging there, and Macias looking good to begin this game. Lars Nootbaar on deck with this full count pitch to Jordan Walker. Hit deep to right center field. Herrera giving chase, and the Cardinals get their first hit on the board. Walker trying to go for 3, and he is thrown out doing it. Jose Barreto covering the bag. I think Walker saw Sterling Thompson having to chase that throw. Thought it was probably worse than it actually was, and we get him out. So the Cardinals get a hit, but they can't keep him on base. Now it's 2 outs. Gorman, big time power hitter here, was awesome for the Cardinals in game 2. And he gets on base here with 2 gone in the bottom of the second. There's a look at the arch mode into the outfield there. I always love the teams that have these cool things mode into their outfields. You know, the crown for the Royals as well. Adds a lot of unique personality to a stadium. No harm, no foul there for Barreto as score remained knotted at 0s heading into the 3rd. Omar Figueroa hitting just over 100 in the series. Came up clutch for us though when we needed him late in game 2. There he goes down. Sterling Thompson off to a scorching start, hitting over 600, but the average is going down a little bit there. The entire Rocky order is retired. Still no hits. Macias mowing through this very powerful lineup here. Now Mason Wynn will ground out to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Arata giving some good production from that 9 spot here. Gonna ground out with a broken bat for the 2nd out. And Arias is down swinging. 0-0 through 3. Could we be seeing a little bit of a pitching battle here between 2 very talented draft picks by these teams? Kyle Brown, he's gone again. 10th straight Rocky retired. Herrera, finally, the Rockies are on the board with a hit. Took us long enough to get the action started. Now can we make something of it here? We got Murillo and Neil Dorsey on deck. Following him. Still waiting for one of those guys to have their signature game. Instead, Murillo's gonna ground into a double play. And Macias keeping that pitch count very low. We could be seeing somebody going deep into this ball game with how things are going here. Jose Barreto also threw the first 3 innings on just 33 pitches. Could we see these guys, if they keep it up, of course, pitching into the 7th and maybe even 8th and 9th innings here? Naylor down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Jose. After that, a little bit of trouble locating against Jordan Walker. Walks him on 4 pitches. Pitch 50 now for Barreto. And it is back deep for Newpar, and Herrera can't snag it. Thought he had a good beat on it, but he can't make the play. St. Louis is on the board. Barreto starting to struggle here in the 4th. A lot of these are either out of the zone or catching a little bit too much of it here in the inning. A lot of Cardinals reaching base. Nolan Gorman will ground it to Figueroa, but still going to bring home the 2nd Cardinal run. 0-0 pitch for Donovan. That sneaks past 3rd base. Gets all the way back to the wall. Make it 3 St. Louis Cardinal runs here in the 4th. I mean, this inning just won't end. Wynn now getting involved. A throw from Zach Veen. And Donovan will actually hold at 3rd base. Thought he might try to score on that play, but decided otherwise. And that will finally end the inning. Barreto had pitched 33 pitches through 3 innings. And now through 30 in just that inning alone. greatly reducing his chances of going deep into this game. Neil Dorsey with the response. Top of the fifth. The Rockies offense desperately needed someone to come through in a big way, and the reigning MVP is the one to do it. 400 feet off the bat at triple digits miles per hour. Has absolutely exploded onto the baseball scene, proven that he's one of the best hitters there is already at just 20 years old. I've been waiting for him to make his mark on the postseason, and there it is. After allowing 3 to the Cardinals, the Rockies get on the board themselves. Zach Veen follows that up with a hit. Right up the middle. Could we start to see the Rockies put something together here in the fifth? Had just 1 hit total through the first 4 innings. But Ethan Salas, 5-4-3 double play, and just like that, the base paths are cleared. We've had some struggles grounding into double plays here in the postseason. I think that's what our 3rd time doing it here in the series in just 3 games. Not loving that. Brian Doe hit 2 homers last episode. Pop fly to foul territory, ends the inning here. But Neil Dorsey at least puts the Rockies on the board with his 400-foot blast. Barreto out for the 5th here, trying to rebound from a very sketchy 4th inning, to say the least. Gets Arias down on a ground out. Carlson up next, hits it right to Kyle Brown. Easy routine play there to retire the 2nd straight hitter of the inning. So far, so good against the top of this St. Louis lineup. Naylor hit to right field and run down by Clemente Herrera. Great rebound inning from Barreto here. Macias trying to keep his strong start going. And starts the 6th inning with a flyout to Lars Nootbaar. Sterling Thompson, we know he's got some serious power about him. It's this one decently deep to right field, but near the warning track, Nootbaar hauls it in once more. Kyle Brown, grounder here, 3 up, 3 down once again for this Rockies offense. Angel Macias, or Angel Macias, however you want to pronounce his name, he has been tearing us apart. The Rockies will go to a drafted lefty of our own here, trying to see if we can replicate the same kind of production Macias has been giving the Cards, but right away he allows a hit to Jordan Walker. Cardinals trying to extend their 2-run lead here, and we follow up the hit with a walk. Now 2 Cardinals on base. 1 in scoring position for Nolan Gorman. And the slurve gets him looking. Right on the edge of the zone. A little bit maybe dangerous of a pitch there. If you leave that just a bit lower, that could be cranked for a homer. And for the 2nd time this game, we throw out Jordan Walker trying to go to 3rd. Trying to take advantage of some wild throws has Jordan Walker, but some great recovery by the Rockies defense has been able to take advantage of that aggressiveness both times. Donovan right to first base, and no harm, no foul. No runs allowed by Herb in the inning, despite a pretty sketchy start to it. Clemente Herrera continues his strong play over from last episode. In a game where the Rockies have really struggled offensively, he gets his second hit of the ball game. Very impressive consistency and clutch from the rookie player. Taken with our second pick the same year we selected Neil Dorsey. And we got ourselves 2 excellent stars in that class. That was a pitch right over the middle for Murillo, and you gotta take advantage of it. Unfortunately, he'll ground out to third. Dorsey, a chopper to Arias. He makes the throw. And our 2 MVP candidates go down back to back. In danger of wasting the leadoff double. Zach Veen trying to keep this inning going, and unfortunately, the Rockies will settle for nothing, and Macias, through 7 innings in less than 70 pitches. We can't get anything off of this guy, man. 4 hits, but he's mowing us down very efficiently. Win. Chopper to Thompson. Makes the throw on the move to retire the Cardinals shortstop. That'll bring up their catcher, Kevin Parada, 0 for 2 today, and he's going back to the dugouts, looking at a strikeout right on the edge once more. Reyes, one of our better strikeout pitchers that we have drafted. It's the hits you got to worry about with this guy. Pitch 30 here to Arias. Will be down for a base knock and should be extra bases for the leadoff second baseman. Trying to add to the lead with 2 outs, Dylan Carlson. And he gets on base here. That should score a rise. Zach Veen not even going to attempt the throw home. Tries to get Carlson at second instead. But the throw is offline. Now 4-1 for St. Louis. Carlson, Gorman, and Naylor have consistently come through in the clutch situations for this Cardinals team. Naylor gets a hit as well, and Herrera just stopped going for the ball. I thought he had a chance at it, but he just decided to gear up for the throw instead, and then still didn't even make a great one. I mean, might have been tough to get, maybe required a dive, I'm not sure. Might not have even been possible with the dive. But it's 5-1 Cardinals headed into the 8th. And this team hasn't been able to get anything off of Macias. Ethan Salas, though, trying to change that here. With a leadoff single down the first base line. Only a 4-run difference here, which, based off last episode, doesn't seem like a lot. But based on what we're doing here today, and how on his game Macias has been, that seems like something we just might not be able to overcome. Figueroa, that's a pitch over the middle. He hits it well to left field. It is back. Leaping is Walker, but he can't field it. And the Rockies have cut the lead in half. Omar Figueroa. You don't ask him to do anything in the first 7 innings of the ball game, but when you need him to come through for you in the final 2, he'll do it. Had a big hit late in game 2, follows it up with 1 here, sparking a bit of hope in that Rocky dugout, and now that will end the day for Macias. Allowed 3 runs. Pitched into the 8th inning here. Jeff Hoffman to replace him. He gets Sterling Thompson looking. Top of the order back up. 2 outs. Kyle Brown through the middle of the infield. That'll be a 2-out single on the full count pitch. And up for the Rockies comes Clemente Herrera, probably our postseason MVP so far. A steal from Kyle Brown puts him in scoring position. A hit here makes it a one-run game. A home run could tie us up. Can the man who's come through for us so consistently so far in the postseason do it once more? Get that third hit in a time that we really need it. That's down for a hit. Clemente Herrera has done it again. Third hit of the ball game. It's corralled by Dylan Carlson. And an RBI double makes it a one-run ball game. How good is Clemente Herrera? This dude is not fazed at all by the pressures of the postseason, and he's getting pinch run for Logan Cerny. I do not agree with this. I didn't mind the decision to pinch run Logan Cerny last game when he was on first, because he had the speed to score from first on an extra base hit. But I mean, he's already in scoring position, and it's not like Clemente Herrera is slow. Now we're deep enough into the ball game that if we don't go extra innings, Herrera might not have another chance at an at bat. So in that way, I kind of understand it. You're banking on Herrera. We're not going to need his bat again in this game, and Cerny's just as good of a defender. He's a better defender with maybe a slightly less strong arm than Herrera over in right field. So not a terrible decision. I still just would rather have Herrera's bat when he's been so good. And Murillo can't tie the game up. Goes down swinging. Just hasn't been a good Murillo game for us, unfortunately, here in Game 3. Jeff Ramirez in for the 8th inning for Colorado. Allows a single right off the bat to Lars Nootbaar. CPU is going to the same pitchers over and over again. Still yet to use Jimmy Blanco here in the series, which I would like to use him. We've only used Phil Gorzelski for 1 out. Put them both in spots that I thought the CPU would use prominently, but that has not been the case for us so far. Since allowing the single, we've gotten 2 straight outs here. If we can keep the Cardinals off the scoreboard, we'll just need 1 run here to at least force the possibility of extras, and 2 runs to apply some pressure on the Cardinals offense. We've got Dorsey, Veen, and Salas up to bat. 3 guys that have been productive for us. Unfortunately, 2 of them are lefties, and Jojo Romero is a lefty closer himself. Alvin and Salas certainly aren't bad against lefties despite being lefty bats. So we could still work something out here in the 9th, but Dorsey, grounding out to start, was really counting on him getting things going for us. 2-2 pitch for Zach Veen. Chops to Mason Wynn, and we're 1 out away from losing Game 3 here in the top of the 9th. Salas has hit 500 here in the postseason. We need him to extend the game. Can he come through for us like he has so often here in the postseason already? This one sneaks through the infield. Thought that was going to be handled by Donovan, but instead, Salas. Base hit, and the Rockies aren't done yet. We've seen this team have some incredible fights when it looked like they might be down and out before. When we were down 1-5, thought we had no chance. Now I'm starting to get some hope. Brian Doe. Not even a rookie. Hasn't even elapsed enough time to be considered a rookie. That's how green this guy is, and we're asking him to come through in a massive spot. He's 0 for 3 today. Salas going for the steal, and he's safe. I thought Arias had him. Really risky move there. Pays off for us. That could have ended the game right there. Now we just need Doe to either draw the walk or bring Salas home. Next up, we've got Omar Figueroa. Hasn't been great overall, but he has been a great player in the clutch for us. I know it says batting 200 with runners in scoring position, but if you only take the 8th and 9th innings, he's been really good. Doe draws the free base. A borderline pitch goes the Rockies' way. Last time up, a 2-run homer that sparked a bit of hope into this team. Can he do so again? Unable to check his swing on the low circle change. He's behind 0-1. Cardinals fans itching for a victory. Fouls off again. Now he's behind 0-2 in a protect situation. Not where we want to be. Good take there. Is this series going to be extended into another episode here? A lot of late game drama every single game so far. This one inside. Newpart tracking it. Can't quite get it though. And the tying run is aboard. The Rockies aren't going down here in the top of the 9th. Figueroa does it again. I thought that was a fly out to Newpart. Drops just in front of him. Andre Palante out for the Cardinals. He'll replace Romero after the blown save. And we're pinch hitting Grant Levine. What are we doing? Why would you pinch hit for Sterling Thompson? Levine's a worse hitter than Thompson. What are we doing? I'm shocked. Why is Levine being pinch hit for Thompson right now? That 30 hits, 9 home runs, by the way, is not accurate, and he goes down swinging. Of course he does. He's terrible. And there's no reason he should be in the game. Bottom 9 now. Ramirez gets things started with an excellent strikeout. Parada trying to argue it was too high. I like the call, of course. Arias up next. 0-0 pitch. He's swinging on it, and he gets another hit. Such a consistent leadoff man in scoring position. Cardinals a base hit from walking this game off. Can Ramirez get the job done? High pressure situation for Jeff. I believe in him. 73% chance. The game is saying that the Cardinals come out victorious here. We're going against Dylan Carlson and Josh Naylor. Both of these players have been excellent so far in the first 3 games of this series. They've been tough outs, especially late in these ball games. This one popped up by Dylan Carlson. 2 gone. Kyle Datras here in the game, replacing Sterling Thompson. Still mad about that decision. There was a suggestion to maybe manage the team, still do CPU versus CPU, but make a lot of the managerial decisions. That still wouldn't, account for the team making a terrible pitch runner decision. I don't have any control over that, but it certainly could help with some of the pitching decisions that I haven't agreed with, especially in Game 2. Now Josh Naylor pops it up with a broken bat. Datras makes the catch, and we're headed to extras for the second straight game. What a competitive series this has been with the Cardinals, man. Palante stays in the game here and hits Kyle Brown to start the 10th, and here it is. We would have Clemente Herrera in this situation. Instead, it's Logan Cerny. I'd much rather have Herrera, but Logan Cerny's shutting me up a bit. Kyle Brown will hold at second base. 2 straight runners reach. This is an excellent job to put the go-ahead run on the board. This is how you want to start it off. Gotta have our players come through, though. Rafael Murillo, 0 for 4 today. Very rare do we see a hitless Rafael Murillo performance. He's struggled so far, but this is the time for our superstar player to make a superstar play. Can he do it? It's ahead 2-0 in the count. Good discipline early on in the at-bats. Gets him in a favorable spot here. Make it 3-0 now. I mean, a walk here would load the bases for the MVP. Wouldn't mind that at all. You got to turn on that. I don't care that it's 3-0. That's a beautiful pitch to hit, man. If he gives you something like that, you got to turn on it. And just like that, it's 3-2 because you're unwilling to swing on a very hittable 3-0 pitch. And fouls it off. Thought for a second he had struck out. The at-bat goes on. And then he strikes out a pitch later. You got to swing at that 3-0 pitch, man. I know the benefit of hindsight and everything, but that's right in Murillo's wheelhouse to smash those pitches, man. Neil Dorsey now. Can he come through big? This one off the glove of third base. Brendan Donovan in pursuit. And the runner will hold at third. Will be a base hit. Bases juiced for Zach Veen. Now the Rockies with a percentage in the 70s. That'll be a bunt. Beautiful decision. It brings home the go-ahead run. Yes, he got outs, but well worth it. The Rockies are in front, putting some pressure on the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 10th. I don't love it when people bunt when there's nobody on base, but you gotta respect the high awareness situational bunting there. Salas pops this one up to left field. It'll be just the 1-run lead that the Cardinals have. Sorry, that the Rockies have over the Cardinals. Heading into the bottom of the 10th. Can our closer, who blew his save last time out, can he close this one out for us and seal the deal on a sweep in our first playoff series of the franchise? Murillo, a moving throw, and he made it. What a play at shortstop. Poor Rafael Murillo has not been able to have the impact he wants or that we expect of him offensively, but what a play What a throw to get the first outs of the bottom of the 10th. Lars Nootbaar, he goes down on the ground out as well. And we're 1 out away from the sweep. Comes down to Nolan Gorman. He had 2 insanely clutch home runs for the Cardinals in game 2. Can he somehow do it again? Certainly has the ability. We got to see a good at bat here from Santillan. He's got to have his best stuff here for Nolan Gorman. 1 for 4 so far today. Swinging through that pitch, evens up the count 1 apiece. 1-1 pitch is in for strike 2. Now with 2 strikes, we got to give him nothing to hit here. And swinging through the play, Santillan gets the close with the strikeout of Nolan Gorman, and the Rockies advance to the NLCS, sweeping the Cardinals in what was a very fun and competitive series. I mean, hats off to St. Louis. They made us earn all 3 of these wins. Fight for it until the last moment every single time. I honestly thought we were going to lose both games 2 and 3 at certain moments. Somehow pulled out both of them, solidifying the sweep in an incredibly fun series. Such a young team getting their first playoff win. And there you see it. Braves or Dodgers. And it will be the Braves that will take on in the NLCS. Can't say I'm surprised there. Probably the most stacked roster I've seen the CPU generate before. And I just got to take another look at it now. We looked at it at the beginning of the season, but let's take another look here. 99 overall, Ronald Acuna. Spencer Torkelson at 95, Alek Manoah at 94, Ozzy Albies at 93, Brady Singer at 92, Edward Cabrera at 91, Spencer Strider at 91, Hurston Waldrop at 91. That's all the players that are above 90 overall. Their entire 5-man starting rotation is over 90 overall. They had the top 3 vote getters for Cy Young this season. But with a pitching staff like that, surely you can't have an elite lineup, right? Now you got Tyler Stevenson and Sean Murphy as your 2 catchers. You got Torkelson and Matt Olson at first base. You got Ozzy Albies at second base. And even Gonzalez here isn't a bad backup. Royce Lewis and Austin Riley at third base. Not very good at shortstop, but I imagine they just have... Maybe can Royce Lewis play it? Yeah, I imagine they just have Royce Lewis play shortstop for them. You got Brandon Marsh and Jackson Merrill at left field. You got Michael Harris at center. You got Acuna at right field. This team has no weaknesses, assuming they have Royce Lewis play shortstop. There's really all 9 hitters are an absolute big-time threat. You got to think they have Royce Lewis at a shortstop and then maybe Matt Olson as the DH. I mean, that is an absolutely insane lineup and one that's going to be very tough to crack. I want to make a change to our pitching rotation ahead of this series. We did not see Jimmy Blanco, and I just don't know why. He's one of the best relievers we have. And we didn't see enough of Gorzelski. I thought, usually you see a lot of these long-term relievers, I feel like, in the regular season. But here in the postseason, we're seeing a lot more of these middle inning relievers. We saw a ton of Jeff Ramirez. We saw too much Andrew Moore. And in this series, we saw a lot of Herb Reyes, even though he was in the 3rd spot. Only a 1/3 of an inning pitch between Gorzelski and Blanco. And I wanted these guys to get most of the action. So, Ramirez was good in game 3, but not before that. So I'm thinking Andrew Moore going to put in the Jimmy Blanco spot, because if we saw 0 of Jimmy Blanco, I'm hoping we might see 0 of Andrew Moore in the NLCS. Still going to have Gorzelski, I think, in long relief. Maybe I switch him out for Ramirez. I want to see more Gorzelski as well. I'm going to try this. You guys let me know if you think there's a better way to do this. Or maybe what I'll do is this, because then I'll actually have Gorzelski and Reyes as the only 2 long relievers. Hopefully Andrew Moore won't get much time at all. And then it's either this or it's this. You guys let me know what we should do in the bullpen ahead of our series against the Braves. Despite the fact that we swept the Cardinals, absolute GG's to them. That was an insanely fun series. We've got the Braves coming up next, and I've got to say, we've got to be underdogs heading into this series. I love this team. I love the way a lot of these guys are playing, but man, the Braves are good, and they're going to be a very, very tough out in the NLCS. But I'm excited for this series. I hope you are too. And that's all I've got for this playoff premiere episode in our Rockies Draft Only franchise. We'll be back soon going against the Braves, and I'll see you then. Go Rockies.